Destroyed by this massive fire, they didn't lose the most important thing, each other. Nick Lamb, the 13-year-old son of the family, is deaf, and he didn't hear the smoke alarms go off. But one member of the family did, this guy, and saved Nick's life. It was Ace, the family pit bull.
He woke me up by licking my face, and the firefighter said that saved my life.
Very lucky to have that dog there in the house and glad that everybody's okay tonight. Well, developing here at 6, our nation is caught in the middle of another international incident. A Malaysian passenger jet shot down over Ukraine.
The United States will offer any assistance we can to help determine what happened and why. And as a country, our thoughts and prayers are with all the families.
Ukrainian officials are calling it a terrorist attack, and new within the last half hour, Russian leaders are blaming Ukraine. Our team coverage is just seconds away. Plus, a Michiana woman is filing discrimination charges against a Michigan water park, why she believes the park singled her out for her appearance. And a Michiana town marshal facing serious accusations here tonight, why investigators believe he stole women's underwear.
Plus, we're tracking a warm weekend. Temperatures are on the rise in your ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood weather forecast. ABC 57 News at 6 starts right now.
Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana, this is ABC 57 News at 6.
And we do start here tonight with our continued breaking news coverage of a jumbo jetliner that U.S. officials say was shot down in Ukraine. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kim Chappell. Brian Dorman has the night off. Now, in case you're just tuning in with us, here is what we know at this hour. A total of 280 passengers on board are believed to be dead. 23 of those passengers are American. U.S. officials confirmed that the plane was shot down by a surface-to-air missile that tracked the plane using heat signature technology. And now Russia is blaming Ukraine for that missile strike.
Tells me that that airplane came apart in midair, which is why you had bodies that, as the aircraft descended, would be strewn out over a large area. If there were bodies in just one place, it would tell us that the aircraft stayed intact all the way to impact.
And the crash scene is in an area where tensions between Ukraine and pro-Russian rebels and the Kremlin have been escalating. In the past week, Ukraine has claimed Russia shot down 2 of its military planes. Well, today, President Obama says the U.S. will offer any assistance to determine what happened and why. And just coming into our newsroom, there are reports that Ukrainian rebels have found the plane's black box among that debris. Now, it could, of course, give some clues as to what happened just moments before that plane crashed. And continuing our coverage on this Malaysian airline crash, ABC 57 News reached out to a Notre Dame professor of political science who specializes in international relations and security. Now, he tells ABC 57 if Russian forces are responsible for shooting this plane down, he doesn't believe it was done on purpose. He says they have no interest in shooting down civilian planes and isn't confident that rebels have missiles sophisticated enough to hit a plane at 33,000 feet in the air. Now, the most puzzling thing, he says, is why a civilian aircraft was flying in this area at all.
So one has to ask, why are you flying over a war zone where military aircraft are operating and being shot down?
And obviously, this international incident is not affecting U.S. flights in any way. All domestic flights are still flying across the country. And continue to stay with ABC 57 News as we continue covering this Malaysian plane crash. We are working local angles on this story, as well as following the very latest developments as they unfold. ABC 57 will have continuing coverage tonight at 10 and 11. Well, back here in Michiana, a local woman says she's filing a discrimination suit against a Michigan water park. Bride-to-be Jill Sweeney is a lesbian, and we wouldn't normally point that out, except that's why she thinks she was singled out at Michigan's Adventure Water Park. ABC 57's Megan Schiller talked with Sweeney about her experience and the park's general manager. So, Megan, why does Sweeney feel like she was singled out?
Well, Kim, Sweeney went to the park for her bachelorette party. She was there with her partner as well as friends. She said, though, that she was wearing male swim trunks, a tank top, and a sports bra underneath. And she says after she was there for 3 hours that she believes they came up to her and singled her out because of her appearance. Now, Sweeney also says she's certain that she was singled out because she took pictures of other park goers there wearing what they define as street clothes. She says they were dripping wet wet from the water rides, and you can even see wet footprints on the concrete. Now, the park's website says street clothes are not allowed because the zippers and buttons will damage the rides. Sweeney says her male swimsuit was allowed according to the website, and she covered her top with a sports bra and tank. She says she wasn't wearing that outfit because she's a lesbian, but she says it's because her body is most comfortable that way.
And I mean, it's not just, because I'm a lesbian. There are other women out there that don't like to wear, expose themselves. They like to wear, my wife had on, some like cotton shorts. Didn't say anything to her.
Now, the park says its swimsuits don't necessarily have to be gender specific, but that tank top would be considered street clothes. Now, Sweeney says she completely understands what the park is saying, but it just made it even more hurtful when she said when she was talking with the manager, she witnessed a man go down the same slide wearing blue jeans. Reporting live in the newsroom, Megan Schiller, ABC 57 News.
All right, maybe you were outside today. You definitely felt that warmer weather we have been experiencing compared to the last few days. Let's head over to ABC 57's Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs, who joins us now in our First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center. And Tom, it's looking like it's going to be a nice evening tonight. Yeah,
a great evening to head out as well. Temperatures right now still in the mid-70s, so comfortable this evening. Yesterday, we were telling you about the quick cool down. That won't happen this evening. So here's the plan. If you're headed out, Elkhart, temperatures in the 70s, and then we fall into the 60s around 10 o'clock tonight, but that's still warmer than yesterday. You can stay out late tonight and be comfortable without that jacket. How about the weekend? I've got to look at your weekend on the water forecast, looking at Lake Maxinkuckee. 70s, 80s return Saturday and Sunday, and the heat is building next week. I'll have a look at that in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast.
And developing here at 6 o'clock tonight, the town marshal of Millersburg is facing some disturbing allegations. It's after several months of investigation by police, who are now charging David Keith Hathaway with 2 counts of criminal conversion. Officers say he stole his son's girlfriend's underwear. ABC 57's Daryl Bajoris reached out to town officials today, and he joins us now live outside the Millersburg Police Department. And Daryl, what did they have to say to you today?
Kim, they're being pretty tight-lipped about the whole situation. They handed me this 2-sentence statement, which doesn't really say much other than they're aware of the charges. But it's the talk of the entire town. I caught up with neighbors today, some who found the charges hilarious. Others were upset by what they call a lack of professionalism. And then there's another group who thinks it's not that big of a deal. But they all agreed on one thing. They don't want the town of Millersburg to be the laughingstock of Elkhart County.
It's something that he's got to work through. It's an issue that he's got to deal with himself and his family.
Find somebody else, to hire as a marshal, and one that is professional and can be trusted.
David Keith Hathaway has a court appearance on August 15th. We're trying to find out if he'll continue to police the area until then, but town officials wouldn't comment. Reporting live in Millersburg, Daryl Bajoris, ABC 57 News.
Well, it is one smelly problem that turned into a potential health hazard for a Mishawaka family. Now, they tell ABC 57 they've been living not only with black mold, but also fecal matter for months now, and it's all in their East 4th Street home. ABC 57's Emily Evans went into that house herself today. And Emily, tell us about what you saw firsthand in there.
Kim, when I went into that home today, I saw what looked to be black mold, and the family says after living with this problem for 6 months now, they'd like to terminate their lease and find a new home. They say after draining stagnant water from the basement of their home, the family found what they think is black mold and fecal matter from a leaking toilet. They say the problem is now spreading to their first floor bathroom, and after multiple calls to their landlord, they tell me they've gotten no response and no help with a stinky problem they fear will leave them with long-term health problems. Over the last 6 months, they say they've suffered from dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and severe frequent headaches.
If it's not that, it's lack of energy, feeling really lazy, makes you want to sleep. So you got to get out of the house to get any motivation or energy. Being in there it just feels toxic, feels poisonous.
I gave the landlord a call myself today, but have not yet heard an answer back tonight. I'm also working to hear back from code enforcement in the health department to find out why this house may have previously been condemned. Reporting live in Mishawaka, Emily Evans, ABC 57 News.
Well, a fund has now been set up for that Michigan 4-year-old killed in a crash earlier this week on US 12 and Old M205. Adriana Chanthavong-Savath's mom was in surgery this morning, and the family reached out to ABC 57 saying they are optimistic. Now, the little girl died a day after that crash from her injuries, and a fund has since been set up on the website GoFundMe.com. And the state of Indiana is seeing abortions decline for the 5th straight year. State health officials recently released show women ended 8,000 pregnancies last year, according to the Associated Press. Now, that's nearly 800 fewer from 2012. At least 84 of the 92 Hoosier counties obtained an abortion last year, even though they're available in just 6 counties. Marion County had the most last year at more than 5,000. Well, there is new information about a data breach at Indiana University here tonight. The university says it has not gotten any reports about anyone's identity being stolen because of that exposure back in February. Now, ABC 57 News told you months ago that IU officials found that computer data was breached. It exposed personal information for about 146,000 current and former students. The university's total cost is about $130,000 from that breach. And GM was back on Capitol Hill this afternoon to learn what some believe they did wrong.
The culture of lawyering up killed innocent customers.
It is truly a dark chapter in the history of General Motors.
What some senators believe GM should have done to fix these recall issues months ago. Plus, a Michigan construction company could be evicted. Why a building owner wants Lamar Construction out. And how officials are trying to combat Chicago's gun violence after several deadly back-to-back weekends.
Looking ahead at the weekend warm-up and beyond, it gets hot next week in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast.